So why did cash and carry stop? Well, one more time, let's look at what happened, the situation over here. As you can see now, Germany has successfully invaded France, and so I'm going to draw the swastika here, which represents Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany has invaded France, okay, 1940. So in this year, France fell. Remember, France fell in the summer of 1940, and because of this, what happened is that Britain is now left alone. Britain is severely weakened still, and cash and carry is still happening. Cash and carry cannot happen in France anymore because France is under German Nazi occupation. Okay, please remember that. 1940 summer. So America is in desperate need to help Britain, and guess what happened? The Germans also attacked the Soviet Union. Okay, and so now America has to help Britain and the Soviet Union by providing them with, what do you think, money or weapons? I hope you're saying no, weapons. So make sure it's weapons. Okay, and now what happened is that you can see cash and carry is no longer an option. So this is number one. We will go to number two. Do you remember that? It is Lend-Lease. So the Lend-Lease program, as you can basically infer, lend, which is to borrow. Borrow what? Weapons, right? At the same time, lease, which means what? Which basically means that you pay later. So here we go. So now America basically sends weapons. So I'm now going to use this magnet one more time. As you can see here, okay, United States Marine Corps, this is the weapons that is provided by the Americans. So one more time, weapons are stationed in America. They need to send them across the Atlantic Ocean into Britain and into USSR. So what happened is that this they will just ship it here, and also from America ship it to Russia, to make sure that both the British and the Russians have the weapons and ammunition and also the food, okay, the supplies to fight a prolonged war with Nazi Germany. Now, what's the difference then? So I forgot to write it down. Number two is Lend-Lease, okay, which is applied to Britain and USSR. Okay, Britain and USSR, provided from America. What is the difference? The difference is simple. Back then, they needed to Britain needs to pay. Remember this, Britain needs to pay on the spot to America. Okay, Britain needs to pay on the spot. But with Lend-Lease, remember, you are borrowing. Do you need to pay now? Not necessary. Okay, so basically, money is now off the table with Lend-Lease. Okay, so money off the table, no more. They just kept supplying, America kept supplying weapons to Britain and to the USSR, but money was never an option until the end of the war, where Britain and the USSR actually owed America lots of money, but America's priority was not the money, but rather to ensure the survival of Britain and the USSR, and also to ensure Germany's defeat. That is the reason why Lend-Lease money was no longer an issue to buy weapons. Weapons would just send to Britain and to USSR just like that. You don't have to pay yet until the war is over. So that was America's new change and shift in policy from cash and carry to Lend-Lease program. Okay. Now point number three is basically very easy point to remember. Point number three, just you need to know that America became the arsenal of democracy. So I hope you're not thinking of the football club Arsenal, because this is not applicable to this. Basically, America is an arsenal of democracy, which means, let me just draw here, you will have a lot of factories producing arms and weapons for the war effort. And these weapons, guessed it, who are they going to give it to? Well, I hope you're saying Britain, and is it France? No longer France, Britain and USSR. So this was America's name to be the arsenal of democracy, and arsenal is basically a factory that produces weapons, or a place where you keep weapons, and to ensure that you're well equipped and well stocked. So America was to be called the arsenal of democracy, and who basically gave this name, you need to know, it is the US president back then, Franklin D. Roosevelt. He said that America needed to be an arsenal of democracy. And what else you need to know is that Franklin D. Roosevelt actually had fireside chats. What are these fireside chats? Okay, fireside chats are basically where the president himself talks to the radio channels and also broadcasts his message. He broadcasts his message to the American people in what is known as the fireside chats, where he basically tells the American people that America needs to be the arsenal of democracy to supply the weapons, build more weapons to ensure that its allies defeat Nazi Germany. Now, before we get into the direct involvement of America in the defeat of Germany, there's one more thing I need to talk about, which is the role of US Escort. The US Navy, as you can see here, I've drawn two ships. They basically provide escort duty for the supply of weapons from the US all the way to Britain. Okay, so what is this about? Basically, you cannot expect the Atlantic Ocean, being such a big vast ocean, to be not defended by the Germans. In fact, the Germans built a lot of submarines known as U-boats. Okay, yes, it is a U. Okay, the letter U and boats, very easy to remember. Okay, these are German submarines, and basically they were sent to destroy the the supplies sent by America to aid Britain and the USSR. So America's solution to this is to provide the role of naval escorts, which you need to know, to provide the merchant ships, the supply ships, protection from the German Navy, the U-boats. Okay, and this is another way that America actually helped in defeating Germany. Okay, so please remember this. We've now come to the end of part 2 on the defeat of Germany, where we've covered Lend-Lease program, naval escort, or naval convoy escort. In part 3 of this video, we will cover direct American involvement, which led to the defeat of Germany. And this is in part 3. I'll see you there. Bye.